GoPro, capture, go. Oh, you are. Well, it said almost no chance of rain today, so of course it's raining. Well, good morning on this fine late autumn morning in North Wales. I'm out for a lovely gentle walk today to make the most of this late autumn colour, and to do that I brought another one of my favourite sort of films, the Pastel Portra range, but this time the 800. Now the 800 speed film is actually quite unusual because it's actually got more colour than the slower 160, maybe a little bit more than the 400, depends how you shoot it and process it. But one thing it has got is a huge price tag attached to it, about £19 a roll for the 35mm 36 exposure. Whoa! And that means I'm paying around about 50p every time I press the shutter button, so I won't be pressing it quite as often as normal. See, the thing about shooting these colour films is they are very expensive compared to shooting digital. Now I could just shoot with one of my micro four thirds cameras and get excellent results today. Super saturation, high contrast, loads of shadow detail, image stabilization, it's fantastic. But there is something about these colour films which I think renders the landscape in a more natural fashion. Yes, you can process digital images, but there's nothing more exciting than capturing things in camera. And also, the thing about film is you don't know what you've got till you develop it, and that's exciting. Now the other advantage, and I will say it's an advantage, is that I won't take as many frames now that I'm shooting film here today than I will with digital. That makes my post-processing, my editing down, a lot easier to do because I'm not torn between 100 images of the same tree or group of trees. There'll be one, maybe two at max. I was going to have a game of guess the film, but I realised I've just told you what it is back there. And the thing about a location like this is it's absolutely beautiful, whatever the weather. I mean, lost for words. Well, here's one of the locations I was really looking forward to visiting today. It's Llynbaican, or Llynbaican, apologies for the pronunciation, and it's a tiny little lake in the middle of nowhere, accessible by a forest path. Now last time I was here I didn't go for a walk around it. I'm going to try to. It may be too marshy and boggy, but I can already see some amazing sights. Well, as I expected, it is rather wet round here, but I think it's going to pay dividends with a lot of these reeds and the rocks in the water. Could do with a bit of sunlight, to be honest, but then again, it does flatten out the contrast nicely. Now this one's surprisingly tricky actually. I was trying to keep this rock underneath this reflection here and these reeds in the foreground maybe a bit bright in the foreground, and I also have cropped down, if you look now, I've cropped out the sky, but I do have these rocks in, so not quite sure. It's a vertical, but it's well worth a go.
Well, I do actually like this one. I think the balance is quite good with the bright foreground and those rocks encompassed quite neatly. And the reeds, the grasses coming through are just lovely.
Again, this one looks promising with the posts, a little bit of a reflection, might cut that out. But I love the little reeds, the grasses, sorry, and the background with the trees. So I think a frame, yeah, it's definitely worth it.
Well, I think this one works even better than the first one. I think the composition is a little bit stronger with the foreground and the way it leads in there. And I've darkened down the trees at the back, the top backdrop, because they were far too bright. And that brings your eye into the trees in the middle ground and the lake itself. Yeah, very, very pleased with this one. I would print it. And this one was taken from the same vantage point with the lens zoomed in a bit further. It's just a lovely riot of colours. And I do love the way the Portra 800 has rendered all the colours, the warm and the cold tones.
Now these are fantastic material, absolutely beautiful. Just a few fallen leaves, and those grasses which have died back in the water. Just cropped in, about 50-60 millimeters f8. I think that'll really work well, possibly with a vignette to bring the edges in. The fantastic conditions now lend themselves to the colour negative film, and I'm really hoping to get better images than I have so far. Get on the tops, get some cloud cover, amazing. Now, the last time I was here, I fair sprinted up this little mountain here to get views down the valley, and I'll be doing the same again today. Well, I'm not sprinting, I did that last time and I got rained off, so I'm going to get up there and get some views before hopefully all this beautiful cloud clears over Snowdon and across to the Glidders and Pennet Olwen. So that's me for the next half hour or so. You see this hill here? I think it's called Clogwyn Mawr. It's a bit of a, if it's a dog it'd be a mongrel, a scruffy little mongrel. If it was a cat it'd be a moggy. But I absolutely love it because its position is in between far more prominent peaks, really dramatic peaks, and it's very ordinary, but you find that the hills which are a bit lower sit better for photography because you get the views across to the bigger peaks. They dominate. If you get on the highest peak and shoot down, it can be a little bit underwhelming at times. Now, again, a bit like that earlier hill, Clogwyn Mawr, this one, MkIII, is not very big. It's not really classed much of a mountain, sort of big hill. And again, it sits in the right position around other mountains, which give spectacular views. So I've got lots of flies bothering me. You'd have thought they've all gone by now, but they're still here. And again, that affords me probably the best vantage point for shooting some of these peaks, whereas when I've been up on the top, as I said before, you're often clagged in with the weather, and when you're looking down on the scene, you haven't really got much you can put in the foreground the same. Well, after seeing the wonderful panoramic effect from the iPhone, I thought I'd have a little go at panoramic with the film camera. So I've kept it in landscape orientation, and I've got This area in the first frame, this area in the second, and that area in the third frame. It was all set on manual focus, manual exposure, so it should stitch together reasonably well.
And so it did. It went very well indeed. I actually took an extra frame here. There are 4 frames here for this stitch panoramic. But it did a fantastic job of blending and didn't take much processing either, but just look at the colours.
Well, my favourite little mountain up here has been occupied by other people. How dare they? Do they not know it's my mountain? So I have to satisfy myself with this lower peak on Crimpy Eye. Amazing views though, and I got these views earlier this year. My favourite image of the year by far, actually, I got just from the slopes over there on that little mountain. I've got a similar view from here. I've got an amazing light, so I'm going to give it another go.
Well, it is a very good vantage point, but I do feel this particular one suffered a little bit with excessive contrast and some very deep shadows due to the time of year. As you can see, the balance isn't quite as good as the shot I took a few months ago. It's a little bit harsh. I did crop it to 16:9, but it's not perfect. Now, the rest of the walk takes me over the top and drops back down to the valley where the car is. Very, very pleasant indeed.
Now this tree has some particularly nice side lighting onto it. The light is over to my left coming in here, as you can see from the flare on my lens. And because the trees in the background are in shadow, it does set it off a lot better. If they were in bright sunlight, it would look nothing. And I have included the sky because if I want to, I can actually crop it out later just in Lightroom.
Well, in the end, I actually decided to go for more of a higher key image with this and bring up that midground there to balance with the tree and darken the foreground to bring your eye into it. I also kept the sky in, but I did play it down considerably in Lightroom. I think it's quite a nice image actually, and it does go to demonstrate the flexibility of Portra 800 even on bright contrasty days. Well, the rest of the walk is quite gentle and probably not so photogenic and a little bit more touristy, but there's still a few more images to be had, and I did take a few just to finish off the end of the roll. Nothing special, but a thoroughly enjoyable day out.
So that's me about done for the day. A lovely day, morning really. Fantastic. Don't know how the images turned out. I should rely on voiceover Stevie to give you the update. But yeah, for me, fantastic. And I'll see you again on the next one.